Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking for Ezeetrader. Okay, so Ford had some movement again this morning. It's I don't like the days like this when we've had the movement before the day has really started, but or a lot of movement. As you can see, range-wise from the euro, we've basically done the whole of yesterday's range prior to the market really opening. So the problem with this, of course, is that we can end up with consolidated phases like what we saw yesterday, with more with the euro than the pound, which actually did get a good kick and ran on. But anyway, let's see where we go from here. From a 60-minute perspective, well, already hit the daily pivots. Currently on the bearish side of things as we're running through the S1. We've broken through the lows here, making a lower high, confirm a lower high. So this could just roll over a little bit more. However, it's as I say, it's the Asian session sort of move, and I'm not always totally trusting in them. So we'll see what happens. We often see a move in the Asian session, and we see a complete reversal as we move through into the European session. But we'll see how it runs. At the moment, it is still sitting around those prior lows there. I mean, yesterday we broke the prior highs early in the morning. It ran up, then it just sort of came back, and it sat on those for quite a long time. Dropped down a little bit further, then we saw it continue to rally. So back up again. So a bit more sort of whipsaw. At the moment, it's trying to make a bit of a recovery here as we're moving through. Difficult one to say where we're going to go at the moment. As say, the trend is slightly changed by that lower high, but if it does get a bit of momentum to the upside here, well, we could push back up towards the Asian session highs, yesterday's highs, and there is a possibility we'll yet still push on to the upside. But oops, sorry, my buttons are very delicate this morning. Here we go. Okay, let's have a look at the pound. The pound again yesterday, huge move up there. It's not had such a big sell-off at the moment, but it is selling back towards the daily pivot at the moment. Still the untouched monthly pivot above us, so there's potential for us to push on higher. Coming down the time frames there, you see I've just drawn a trend line on the current candle at the moment, so that may all change, but a break of that candle could see us coming back to this sort of intraday low in the sort of late or let's say late London session, mid US session there really. But if that does break, it will possibly come down to that, and we'll just got to watch it then whether it continues down towards the 50 and maybe the daily S1 pivot. It had quite a push up yesterday, and sort of just a bit wary of this sort of overall move in terms of it being too much too soon, but we'll see. Oops, got real problems with my buttons today. There we go. And dollar yen. Okay, so dollar yen, well, yesterday continued its move again. A lot of this movement early. Pushing up again today, heading back towards the monthly pivot at the moment. Just having a look. There's no divergences or anything like this. It's a relatively cleanish move to the upside. Again, may just be pushing up towards the 100 MA. Not a lot else to say here. It's certainly just confirming higher lows at the moment, so there's certainly the possibility for it to push back up towards that monthly pivot. Now, I don't think the monthly pivot's been, or it may have been hit very earlier on. Let's just check. It was hit earlier on, so yeah, but maybe just push back to that monthly pivot. Untouched daily pivot below, so any sell-off, if it starts selling off, well, that would be a potential target, so that's for sure. Okay, that's the dollar yen, and finally the Aussie dollar. The recovery continues with the Aussie dollar from the doji, then the push up we had on Tuesday. We're already pushing up again towards its monthly pivot. It's sort of having another push. Quite a few consecutive green candles here, so it won't be surprising to see some sort of consolidation or maybe a down bar looking at untouched daily pivot at the moment. It didn't quite catch it yesterday either, so there's a possibility if it does break this sort of rather steep trend line that it could roll over for that level, although it is quite a few points away now. Yeah, where are we? We're around about 50 pips away, and on a normal day 50 pips away is probably less likely to see the daily pivot. It's already hit the R1 pivot consolidation at the moment. If the rest of the markets break up, well, possibly we'll see a continuation to the upside on the break of the trend line. Now let's just pop the trend line across the top there, so we could see a continuation to the upside. Now let's just come back to the higher time frames looking for resistance. Well, we're pretty much through a lot of the resistance levels now with the key moving averages, so it does give it a clearer sort of move up. Prior technical resistance from the prior highs and lows, well, we're probably just near one at the moment, but they're not that solid because there's not that many of them, because we're at a new low, so there's not a lot to be looking back for. So it may give it a clear way to the pivot at some point. Okay, that's pretty much it for the day from me. In terms of news coming out today, we've got the manufacturing production figures for the UK at 9:30, which could give the pound a decent kick. Beyond that, there's some Canadian data coming out 1:30, but relatively low level, although at 3 o'clock they've got their rate statement, which may create a bit of volatility in the Canadian dollar this afternoon. That's it for pretty much the day. 10 PM tonight we've got the official cash rate on the New Zealand dollar. That could create a bit of volatility around that again. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great one. Bye for now.